And this is Anese Cavanaugh, and I am your host for the Presence is Your Impact podcast. So here we go. Presence is Your Impact podcast. I am just putting out a bunch of these at the very beginning to kind of get my podcasting chops underneath me. As always, please feel free to send me a note, ask me for content you would like to see me talk about. And then, of course, as always, please support the podcast by helping people get more exposure to it. I promise to keep these getting better, better, and better. For right now, I'm giving myself for the first 10 to kind of suck at them a little bit, to not worry about getting them perfect. Because if I worry about perfection, I'm done. I will not be of service to you guys. So here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the IEP method. I want to talk about the IEP method. The IEP method, IEP stands for your intentional energetic presence. Your intentional energetic presence. And this is all about being intentional about the energetic presence that you bring to everything that you do. Okay. So whether you are leading your team, you are giving a talk, you're getting a workout in, you're working with your kids, you're talking to your spouse or your partner, you're preparing your taxes, you're doing the dishes. I'm sitting here with you right now. Your intentional energetic presence is about being intentional about the energy and the presence and what you bring to that experience with everything you do. Okay. Now, some people right off the bat, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I've got to be on all the time. My intentional, I've got to be on, like when I'm doing the dishes. No. But the invitation is to be present and intentional in those moments because your level of presence is going to create your experience. So even when I'm done and I want to just watch a movie and I want to just chill on the couch and I don't want to think about anything. There's an intention behind that for me. And the intention, which gives me full permission to just let everything go, is I'm going to intentionally disengage right now. I'm going to intentionally, when my kids were little, we would have our movie nights and our pizza nights. And I'd be like, I'm going to intentionally just active disengagement, intentional disengagement. The idea here was that instead of just slipping into, I'm just going to sit on the couch and binge watch TV and eat a pizza and not pay attention to my body and, just be thoughtless about it all, there was an intention which then kept me connected to my body. So you're welcome to use that for yourself if it's useful to you. But I just wanted to get that right off the bat because nothing in the IEP work is about being robotic, about doing it right, about always being on, about making sure that you're always showing up great. That's not what we're talking about. I'm introducing you to this idea of being intentional about the energy and the presence that you bring to everything that you do, because that level of intentionality and that care will help to create an experience for yourself and for the people around you, big time. So let's talk about this. There's your IP, your intentional energetic presence. You can also break this down into the three components of that, which are your intentions, which is what you want to have happen. Okay, what I want to have happen, the outcomes I want to have happen, the experience I want to create for somebody else, the experience I want to create for myself. There's my intention. Okay. Um, how often people go into meetings and conversations and anything without some kind of intention, so they're clear about what they're about to step into or what they want to create. How often people do that is astonishing to me. And I totally get it. It's so easy, especially when we are moving really, really fast and we're kind of in react mode or we're in survival mode because something has happened and we're just like, we just got to get through whatever's going on. Or we're in a meeting and things are not going the way we really want them to go. And we're starting to lose the plot and the energy's starting to sink. And instead of pausing, reconnecting with my intention, I just start to react, 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 react. It's very human. It's very natural. It's very common. So, again, everything I give you on this podcast, everything in this body of work, everything that I put out to the world, the intention that I have behind it is to give you some frameworks and some ways of thinking about things to support you in your leadership. So that intention is first, what do you want to have happen? Your energy, which is in the middle. So IEP energy is the energy and the stamina that you have to actually make that thing happen. Okay. Your energy and your stamina to make that thing happen. This is really important. Is this about the energy you bring into the room? Yes, absolutely. Is this about being responsible for the energy you're bringing to people? 100%. Is this about protecting your energy so that when people are coming to you and they're really negative or they've got a lot of like, ugh, going on, or there's some toxicity going on, or there's a lot of projection going on, you know, being able to protect your energy and hold your space so you don't take that on and let it exhaust you, that is part of this middle part with energy. That's all part of it. But at the center of that, the thing that will help you do everything I just mentioned is when you manage your energy, when you take care of your energy, when you tend to your body. Self-care is a leadership skill in this body of work. I this is my original love. I will stand for this forever. Our self-care, the way we're taking care of our energy and our stamina, that is crucial to be able to project the right energy, have the energy and stamina to do what we're here to do, and also to protect ourselves from negative energy coming at us or just being overwhelmed by the world's energy. Like we're walking around all the time. By the way, when I talk about this stuff, just because somebody projects some bad energy at you does not mean that they're bad. You're doing it with other people too. I do it. We all do it. We're human beings. We're working this life out together. We have good days. We have bad days. We get, we go unconscious. It all works together. So this is about being able to be thoughtful about what is the energy I'm bringing to the table and how am I taking care of my energy so that I have the energy and the stamina to do the work I'm here to do and to fulfill upon those intentions. Okay, so you got your intentions, you got your energy, and now we're going to talk about your presence. And your presence is how you're showing up, of course. It's how are you showing up? What is the energy that you just brought into the room? It's also how present are you to the people in front of you or the person in front of you? How present am I right now as I'm recording this podcast to everything that's happening around me? I've got a camera up here, I've got the mic, I've got lighting, I've got my notes, I've got all sorts of stuff. How present am I to actually you? Right? Because it would be very easy for me to completely just get so in my head about all the stuff. And this is why I said at the beginning of the session, I'm going to give myself the first 10 episodes to suck. I'm just going to give myself full permission to this. And I'm going to trust that God's got it. Like I'm going to bring what I can bring to you. I'm not going to worry about it. And my main intention and where it's most important that I stay present is going to be being present with you. So while I'm recording this and I see this little green light right here, and there's another camera here, and there's like all this stuff, what I'm really thinking about is you and what you're up against right now in your leadership and your life, mm, and all the things that you are excited about and nervous about and struggling with, and all of it. You. Okay. So that's where I'm present. So presence is a really important piece. Often people will think that presence is just about how I'm showing up, my stage presence, me being present in the moment. Presence is also about being present to myself so that I can hear myself. I'm listening to myself. I know how I'm doing. I know how I actually feel about something. One of the places where you'll see presence go off the rails is when we lose presence with ourselves and we start saying yes to things we really meant to say no to, or we say no to something because we're scared of it. But instead of getting really deeply present with ourselves and going, oh no, actually, I'm just going to need courage for this, we turn down things that are important to us. Right. So there's a couple different places to look at presence, but then there's, in my mind, especially in collaboration, especially in creating things, especially in leadership, you guys, especially in creating more peace in the world, there's our ability to be present with each other and to think about the other person on the other side of the conversation, the other person on the other end of the phone, in the other side of the world who's listening to you, who's being benefited or hurt by your products or your services or your actions or your words or whatever it might be. Our presence to each other is a key piece here. And you have control over that, by the way. All the things I just said, your intentions, your energy, and your presence, You have control over pausing. Okay. Because here's the thing, you got to pause. I'm really big on the pause. For those of you that have been following me or working with me or involved with me in any way, shape, or form for the last couple of years, you know that pausing is like my favorite thing in the world. Um, well, one of my favorite things, but the ability to pause is free. It's totally in your control. I'll come back to that because I can already hear it like, well, not always. I'll come back. I'm gonna write myself a note. My pink pen, pause. Okay. The ability to pause is totally in your control. Once you pause, you check in. How am I actually doing? And you can actually kind of reset your energy, reset your presence, get here, get here, get here, and then go, all right, what is my actual intention right now? What is my intention? What is the energy I'm bringing to the table? Do I need to do anything to take care of myself? Do I need to take a bio break? Do I need to go hide out in a closet right now or go hang out in a bathroom stall and just kind of gather myself? Like, what energy am I bringing to the table? And what do I need to do to take care of it? Do I need food? Do I need water? What do I need right now? And your presence. How am I actually showing up right now? How am I showing up in this room with this person, these people? Right. And then from there, you've reset and now you can act. And the next most honest, wise step is more likely to reveal itself to you when you're coming from a place of clear intentions, energy, and presence. So I want to address the thing with the pause and the people that are going to say, well, no, I don't always have control because I got things coming at me all the time. That's totally true. I get it. I get it. I really do. I think that pausing is a leadership skill that can be cultivated. Um, Yeah, I think it can be cultivated. I think that, yes, things are going really fast sometimes and maybe things are getting away from you, but you always can take a nice deep breath and come back to yourself. You can do that. As long as you're breathing, you can do that. As long as you're breathing, even if I've got a lot of stuff going on around me, all right, and I don't have the luxury to stop and go take 5 minutes, I can still pause in the moment. Now, here's the thing about the pause. When you're in something and you take a pause, what you do is you actually create a forced pause for the people around you, especially if your IEP is clean. Okay, especially the more you practice this, the stronger the muscle gets, the stronger your energetic field gets around, hey, I'm taking a pause. And the more I believe in the power of that pause, and the more I believe that pause is actually in service of whoever I'm with, the outcomes we're trying to create, and me and my ability to make sure I don't take us all off a cliff or say something I'm going to regret later, right? Send people in the wrong direction. That ability to pause and not be reactive, that is a gift to the people around you because when we pause, it forces a pause with them as well. And some of the most masterful ways I've seen leaders do this once they start to really think about what I'm talking about and they start to realize that the pause is not a sign of weakness or or that they're losing control. The pause actually puts them back in control, quote unquote, as if there's anything that you can control, but that's a whole nother discussion. But the most masterful way I've seen this done is somebody will be in a meeting or they'll get going on a meeting and everyone's running a million miles a minute. And the leader or somebody on the team will simply say, hey, can we just take a pause? Can we just take a pause? Can we all just pause for a moment and just make sure we're here? Let's just pause. Or when you tell somebody they ask you for something and you want to react really, really fast, you feel that like urge to react really fast because you want to make them happy. You're in a good mood. Something really fun just happened, like, right. And you're going to react to it. You're going to answer the question or maybe you don't know the answer to the question and you force your way through it anyway. Very, very powerful to pause and to say, hmm, let me sit with that. Let me sleep on that. Let me get back to you in a day or two. Pause. People will thank you for it. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten onto calls with clients or prospective clients that may or may not have done this work after we met. and I can feel that nobody's there. They're just not there. They're in their day, they're in their phone, they're multitasking. They're not there. The energy's frenetic. We all get in the room. It can either be in person or it can be on a Zoom or whatever, Teams, and they're not there. And I'll just simply say, "Hey, I'm gonna take a minute and pause." And I'll stop. And then afterwards they'll be like, "Oh my God, thanks for doing that." Like you actually just put breath back into the room. So it's never too late to pause, you guys. It's never too late. Do not be afraid of being in something. You could be in a sales pitch. Go to a sales pitch and pause. Hold on a second, you guys. Lost my train of thought. Hold on. This presentation is not having the impact I want it to have. Give me a minute. Pause. Get back into your energy. Get back into your original intention and be present. So, your IEP is your ability to bring your most real self, okay? Just you. It's actually so much about just being more of you because if you pause and you get clear about your intention is clean and clear, and then you're taking care of your energy, so you have the energy and the stamina to do what you need to do, and you're protecting your energy so you're not getting clobbered by everybody else's energy, and you're being responsible for the energy you're putting out, and then you're present, which means you're here. You actually are in tune to what's happening in the moment, and you're showing up in a way that is going to help things go well. When you get those three things together, you have a stronger, cleaner, clearer, intentional, energetic presence, which then you couple that with your actions, your behaviors, your all your mad skills that you've got around your design or your leadership or your whatever your craft is, your sales scripts, and you'll be so much more effective, at least in my experience and with the people I've seen who've done this and who have practiced and practiced and practiced it. What I love about the IEP work, the IEP methodology, is that it's never done. I think this work, it's a longer story, but I think this work was really introduced to me when I was like 14 years old, as a little girl, scooping ice cream, world class chocolate at Baskin Robbins on a special worker's permit so I could help pay the rent. So, and I remember being in that little um, ice cream scooper box and being really irritated that I had to work. And my parents had just gone through a very, very difficult divorce, and our family had split up, and we'd been moved out of our church and moved out of our other side of our family, and it was a very sad time. And I was really sad, and I was really mad, and I thought my life was over. And I remember scooping this ice cream, and this thought occurred to me, which now I know was the Holy Spirit. The thought was, hey, what if everything that's happening is not happening to you, but is actually happening for you? And what if you could actually have a really good life? Like, what if you could take this and what you're learning and what if you could turn this into something good? Like, what if you could learn from this and have a really great life? And that was the first time I ever had that I can remember, at least consciously, an experience of what an intention might be, that I might actually be able to direct something in my life in a way that I want it to go. And also the experience of deciding, like, oh, I do want that. And I remember when I came out of that little ice cream box, I was a different little girl because I'd made a decision like, oh yeah, that's what I want. I actually want to have a really great life. And then from there, I got really, really interested in impact and intentions and how do people make things happen. And then I was very interested in energy and stamina, and how do we take care of ourselves. And I went and I got my degrees in kinesiology, and I studied nutrition. I did all those things because I really wanted to see how we took care of ourselves impact our ability to be present. I wasn't thinking of it this way then, but then that affect our ability to be intentional, which then our affect ability to lead and create impact. So long story, another time, but that's basically IEP at the highest level in a nutshell. There's three parts to the methodology: reboot your presence, build a strong energetic field and foundation, which I've actually been talking about quite a bit on this session, And then the third part is being able to create intentional impact, which is a whole framework in itself. Um, I love this work. I have poured into this work. I think this work is a huge part of why I was given this life, was to share this work. And you can think about this and you can start to play with it. You can also read about it. You can all we'll put the show notes, we'll put in the show notes some of the books that I've written to support this work. Um, and you can also join us. Like we've got a community where we do this work. We've got um, a lot of really great online products and programs that you can just get a hold of this work and get going on it. Um, yeah, and the work continues to evolve. So, all right, we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I am very grateful for you spending time with me and for listening all the way through as I learn how to do this. And please, again, if you like it, comment, rate it, give it good ratings, please. If you don't like it, don't give it ratings. Do whatever you want. If you don't like it, you can tell me. Um, but yeah, let's go. All right. We'll see you on the next episode, whenever that might be. Bye.